Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pinball Arcade. So this time we're going to start the 2000 era. Unfortunately, in the 2000 era there are 4 tables that I haven't purchased, and it's very impossible to justify purchasing these tables when so many of them that I have purchased are no longer available for sale, and Pinball Arcade itself seems to be as close to abandoned as you possibly could imagine. So we'll just play the trial version. If we get bored of that, we'll try a tournament, which is another thing to think about. Alright, so can we see the table history? Yes, we can. Star Trek Vengeance Premium 2013. So we've skipped it from 2008, which basically pinball was dead by 1999. Yeah, 1999. We stopped at 1998. Pinball was pretty much dead by 1999, and then 2000 happened, and then 13 more years after 2000 happened before the next table in this curation was made. And so this is Stern, but almost certainly a new Stern. This definitely was a table that was designed and to be sold to individuals and collectors in their own house, not arcades, because arcades were pretty much dead by 2013 also. Um, and you can tell that just by the word premium at the end of that, because until this point, the only table we've seen has had even a slightly different variation was the Addams Family Gold Edition table. Everything else has been just that's the one model, and all the tables will be the same or close to the same regardless of what arcade you go to. The idea of premium and limited editions and different variants of tables being at different potential arcades would be a nightmare. Um, Star Trek Vengeance Premium 2013 is another outstanding game from designer Steve Ritchie. I'm not sure I've heard that name before. Based on the new series of Star Trek films, which they are not making any more of those, and that didn't really succeed very well. Players take control of Captain Kirk commanding the USS Enterprise, which they don't even bother to say 1701 C, B, A, whatever ship the Enterprise would be in that point. In a fight to save the Federation, the game features easy to follow rules for novice players, which in 2013, I guess you have to start trying to build an audience of new novice players if you're going to bring back pinball. But also, there aren't any novice players because pinball had been dead. So you have to basically create a market from nothing, a player base from nothing, which is really hard to do. Um, and an incredible level of depth for export is uh, which is what I think it's supposed to say, with 18 missions to play, which that's quite a lot. 5 multi-ball modes, which that is way too much, including 3 captain's chair wizard modes, which that's insane. The playfield features a spectacular lighting with over 60 tricolor LEDs, and nowadays at least 8 of Fruit likes to call those neopixels if they're individually addressable LEDs, because that's just shorter. So this definitely feels like a table designed to be sold in someone's house so that they would play it over and over again, and it would compete with a not $60 60-hour game, but like a 200-hour $100 type video game with a whole bunch of DLC. But also, this table probably, when you would buy the premium version, was probably close to $15,000. So it would have to be super appealing and have tons of replayability. Because once again, if this is going in the house, you're not regaining a single quarter from somebody else playing it. So that first investment is your investment for life. Maybe you sell this pinball table or trade it for a decent price to recoup some of that money later on. But then I think that also gets back to a problem with this table in particular, which I don't think is particularly that good or desired. Let's see. Including 7 Star Trek shield emblem inserts, color-coded to indicate the primary targets in each mission mode. Another notable feature includes the Warp Core Resonator Shaker mode, which that's just ridiculous naming of a shaker motor, and the USS Vengeance Disintegrator Super Speed Ball Kicker, and the custom molded models of the USS Enterprise, Vengeance, and 2 asteroids with LED flashers. So yeah, there's a lot there that they're trying to sell, and you can even see from the flyer, this definitely feels more like a flyer to sell to collectors to, and thus it's made to look like a old school flyer versus to sell it to arcades, because they're just telling you to go to sternpinball.com to purchase it instead of having like a professional phone number, which I still think even in 2013, if you were actually targeting arcade owners, that would be something you would focus on. And see, there's standard goals here of earning a medal, earning an extra ball, start Vengeance Multiball, start Klingon Multiball, and start Galactic Away Team. I'm not sure you can do any of those. And we could go through 797 bits of instruction to kind of look at the table, but that would be fairly pointless. You can see from the table it is pretty empty. It's not doing just a standard fan layout. It's got a cross shot with an upper flipper. It's got 3 standing targets. It's got some ramps that go up, some sinkholes that go down. There's a button in the middle. It seems like a lot of tables like to do that, and I don't see a real reason for that to really exist at all. It seems to be intentionally created just so you take your hands off the flippers and potentially drain the ball. You can see all the lights are flashing multiple colors, so every LED pretty much on the tables is multicolored. See, if they were really going to help you, then the fire button would be just a secondary button where the flipper is. Skill shot just to go up that ramp. We've definitely seen layouts like this before, and having a whole bunch of modes is great and all, but that doesn't inherently mean that it is a good game worth playing, particularly if the shots are particularly boring. You can see they said there was 10 missions, but from the looks of it, I see 6, 7, maybe 8. So I'm not sure where the other missions are coming from. Yeah, 7 missions according to the instructions. Yeah, and a lot of Star Trek logos, which I don't know why you wouldn't just make all the arrows Star Trek logos at that point. There is a slight benefit to having multiple arrows point towards a shot. That way you can see what the straight line is, and you can even see on this table they've basically done that. There's white lines pointing directly up to center as far as what your shot should be. And I'm not going to read all of this. Alright, let's hop in and play and see how this goes. Of course, the
welcome aboard.
Button,
gentlemen, we're approaching the drop zone.
Was blinking.
You have 1 shot to land on that platform.
So
remember, the Enterprise won't be able to beam you back until you turn off that drill.
locks are lit.
Yeah. Interesting.
One locked.
That's a virtual lock.
20,000 meters.
They seem to really like to do the virtual locks. I feel like they should just call it virtual locks. If that's the case, though, instead of just saying ball 1 is locked when no actual ball is locked.
Approaching the platform at 5,800 meters.
It seems like you can't really backhand shot nearly anything with the left flipper. So,
Destroy the drill.
okay. Destroy the drill. It's blinking. I'm trying to see if the punch it button would have worked. It didn't seem like it would. Even though it was blinking red.
Parachute deployed.
And there's definitely problems with the Star Trek movie in that it really wasn't a Star Trek movie. It was just an action movie
You are awarded a bronze medal.
with new actors pretending to be the old actors. Star Trek.
Battle.
See, the punch it button's not working.
Prime directive.
Prime Directive clearly states there can be no interference with the internal development of alien civilization.
I know what it says, which is why I'm running through the jungle wearing a disguise.
Jim, they're getting closer.
See, it's not the right flipper, it's not the left bump. It's not the right bump. Is it supposed to be the A button?
Jim, they're right behind us.
You better think about what you did on Chrono. Only one target left.
Jump!
So I freed the ball and then immediately drained down the center.
Kill the Klingon patrol.
2x multiplier.
You earned a bronze medal.
Seems like we're
Damn it, Jim, I'm a
getting
doctor, not a pinball
different
wizard.
modes. That top cross shot seems totally at the wrong angle. I'm not getting any of that.
Even if you got away without a trace, war is coming. And who's gonna lead us? You?
Shit. Ball 2 locked.
2 locked.
Klingon battle.
Apparently it's the A button that's the punch it button in the center. That's weird, but whatever. The audio here feels like it could be more. Okay. So you had like 11 million there. And what I have... Does it do anything to really stop you? No. Would I have gotten any of the standard calls? Yeah, I got that one. I got that one. Maybe I didn't get that one. Maybe I had started that one. So, yeah. It's frankly just a little impossible to evaluate this game with such a short experience. You can see there's QR codes now on the instructions, which that's embracing new technology, certainly. And you don't get to put your name on the leaderboard, I imagine, unless you own the table. Yep. And you don't get to put your name in the high scores unless you own the table. So it's a pretty pathetic, I would say, demo in particular because you can't get a proper game out of it. It's just enough of to tease, and that's about it. Alright. So I'm thinking we do season 1, which would be a lot of games, as a challenge. See how this works. 3 credits on Arabian Nights.
In ancient Baghdad, a most beautiful princess was imprisoned by the evil.
So, yeah, 15 minutes with 3 credits seems like quite a lot, frankly. Now, I guess the question we should ask when the ball drains out is, if we do these challenges, can we also make progress on the wizard goals? Or do you have to play the games individually? Because arguably, I should have just been playing that. Yeah, still trying to activate Harem Multiball. Yeah.
Shoot ramp to collect.
So I imagine this really is a case where you could get the wizard goals, and I should have just been playing this in general. And inherently, the number of people that could actually play Season 1's challenge is now incredibly limited, since you can't buy Season 1's tables.
The second ball is locked.
And we may very well end up having to just pause this recording if it's going to be 3 games on that many tables. That's going to be a lot. There we go, we'll collect a jewel. I forgot what I had to do to get the double jewel collectible. That's a great example, though, of a center peg just randomly in a random place. And see, I don't know how you fix that and still have an Aladdin style lamp spinning. I think what you do is you probably just have a standard top-down spinner with a picture of a lamp. Or you move the lamp into its own little safely secluded area where the ball just spins around. You certainly could have had the launcher shoot the ball into a spinning funnel, and that spinning funnel could have caused the lamp to spin around. While the lamp is a unique gimmick, it is also an incredibly dangerous gimmick.
The first ball is locked.
Once again, it's very easy to see why it's so hard to get the Harem Multiball, because it's so easy to...
Take this piece of junk.
It's so easy to light the light multiball otherwise and start locking balls.
Strike the genie for multiball. Shoot ramp to collect.
You see, be almost impossible to not hit the genie. I managed to do it, but now would be the time to try and shoot for the harem multiball some more. Okay. So you don't have enough score to move past this table. Number of credits left. Try again to use a credit and give it another attempt. You have 2 credits left on this table. Alright. The target score is 8 million points.
Your wish is my command. Collect the jewel to release the princess.
So it's not just a like this may be the only time I get to do the challenge, which that would be weird and crazy certainly, but it might be a case that you get 3 attempts per table, and whatever your highest score of those 3 attempts works in combination with all the other tables. But if you want to reset, then you've got to reset and lose all the other high scores. So potentially you would play very well on one table and then somewhat poorly on several others. And you'd have to decide whether you're going to balance that out or not. And arguably, any collection of tables, there's going to be some ones that you're just not that good at. Extra ball at 8 million.
Shoot for the golden thimble.
And see, I want to hear a multi-ball, and that would require me to stop the ball from hitting the left ramp for a while, so it stops from blinking, and then shoot it, because hitting almost anything gets the left ramp, the left loop, blinking again. Not getting anywhere close to do it either, which I'm not super surprised by that. It feels like they should have just taken the best games I've already played on these tables and applied them towards the challenge. Now we're in a mode. I had 2 wishes there. This is also a scenario where if I was really gonna try and win, I would be playing in complete silence and not curating or talking. Commentating is the word I meant to use there.
The jewel of the statue is now yours.
There's 2 harems. Just would have to get 3 more shots.
And the rocks.
Shoot the left passage.
Never get her.
My ruby is yours.
And see, she's got the ruby, so we can collect 2 jewels.
The jewel of the rocks is now yours.
We're setting up for another multi-ball. And this is one of those tables, if you want to play fast, then you have to forego the skill shot. Unless there's some kind of logic behind it that I don't understand.
Seize the power.
What's interesting is it made an animation that a ball lock was about to happen, but the ball didn't actually make it far enough to be locked.
The tale of the great camel race.
Go for the gold symbol. Rub the lamp. Choose your destiny.
3 more jewels
You
would be
now possess
needed.
The jewel of the desert.
So did we make it over 8 million? Maybe. Not really. I feel like you would just have to get a couple of jackpots.
Many wonders.
And you would have
The treasure is now before you.
The jewel of the Cyclops.
but remember, on this table, having jewels
A gift from
in particular increases your end of ball multiplier.
The second ball is locked.
Strike the jewel for Multiball.
And we can strike the genie for multi-ball, or go for a harem try to get the harem shots. There's an extra ball.
Banish the genie. Make a wish.
One more jewel.
Now possess the jewel of Elvira.
Seize the power.
It's funny, it feels like it's in multi-ball mode, but it isn't. There we go.
Possess the final jewel.
Yeah, that was just a fireball award.
You must release me from the bottle. Shoot the golden symbols. Battle the skeletons.
Here we go. We fight the weird skeletons.
Shoot the golden symbols.
Extra ball. So that's like 2 extra balls. So they want you to hit a couple loop shots on either side, which can be fairly difficult shots to make.
Time is running out. Shoot the golden symbols.
Your scimitar is ready. Banish.
Unlimited balls until someone wins. Alright. But we do have to, I think, launch them if we drain any. So, there we go in. We've saved the princess.
You did it.
And that should give us a wizard goal, which maybe it's not going to bother to show us the wizard goal. 20 million. And it just breaks your flow, which in this scenario actually that's kind of nice because it lets you rest your hands after a particularly intense gameplay mechanic. But yeah, as far as the challenge, I imagine people have gotten 1 billion or 2 on this table. that would have been a wizard goal had I not forgotten that we still have yet to do the harem multiball.
Have I got a lap for you?
The first
Just
ball is locked.
Locking at a ball. And then I guess we have to lock the next ball. Notice how rarely you actually have to spell bizarre too, because
Ball 2 is
the
locked.
spinner just takes care of that.
Strike the genie for Multiball. You're amazing. This genie is powerful. Attack the genie.
Hurl the fireball.
There we go. Start the multi-ball, we might as well just score. Well. But yeah, you really are not going to get through this whole tournament in less than a few hours of gameplay at this rate. Unless you just have terrible games and drain out three-ball games very quickly. You're gonna probably get a 40-minute experience on the table. And that once again just highlights where I would like to see it more of a tournament that is just a culmination of your best games ever. I'd also like to be able, since this is emulation, to replay some of my previous games and play it back and see where I made mistakes and improve on my shots. I'd like to be able to rewind to that spot and take the shot a second time, even if it doesn't count towards anything.
I am now free of the map.
The jewel of the desert is now yours.
Now remember, you have all the gems from before, so you're just getting more gems to free a theoretical second princess. Why did that not light up bizarre? I mean, harem. $15 million
Shoot again.
with an extra ball.
Come to the bazaar.
Great shot.
The tale of the flying horse.
Go for the gold symbol.
Now, one thing I'm doing that's wrong on this table is that I am starting missions and then collecting gems, where theoretically some of these missions
A new ball
I
for you.
probably could just finish the normal way and then make a wish to get the next gem.
Throw the fireball at the genie. Banish the genie. Hurry up.
I have big points for you.
A bizarre award is particularly low at 250,000. At least it feels low. You would think that harem sneak-in bonus would count the spelling harem, but it doesn't.
Banish the genie. Hurry, hurry.
I may have 2 extra balls at this point.
Shoot again.
This is kind of an example too of a table that has too high of an end of the ball bonus, and where it starts to get kind of crazy.
You now possess the jewel of the statue.
Well, if I can get one more harem shot.
Take this, oh wise.
But I don't know what.
You must battle the genie.
The tale of Ali Baba.
Spell destiny. Shoot for the golden symbol.
I cannot be defeated.
Let's just keep on playing and keep on trying to get a score.
Seize the power. Hurry up. Amazing. The crowd holds many.
Still think I have an extra ball. It looked like I did. And if you get 1 million and you have 5 million,
You're amazing.
so we're the grand champion. Is it really worth it to do all this? Still get the harem. Let's see. Congratulations, you scored enough to move to the next table. Press continue to move on to the next table. Okay, so here's the problem is we haven't played Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I don't want to do that. So let's go back to the challenges. Since this one's in progress, let's see, have we played all of this? I think we have, but then that'd be kind of boring. This one I think works fairly nicely.
Welcome
so,
to the theater of magic.
The way I think this works, or is gonna work, is that either you're gonna get infinite retries, or you're going to get stymied at the one table that you just suck at. Because if you have only 3 chances to beat a game high enough to move to the next level, you may just never accomplish that. Now, arguably, maybe once you've done it, and there is
Levitating Woman.
there's less of a challenge than it seems because you're given infinite opportunities. Wants me to shoot up that center ramp, and that's
Shoot
not
up the center staircase.
a shot that I've been doing a lot of.
Within you. You can do it.
Now this table, it's not as big a deal though if you don't finish a mode, unlike Monster Bash, where you actually have to finish the modes.
Hocus pocus.
Here you just have to start them, and I appreciate that more because I don't want to get trapped trying to do the one shot that I can't pull off. And here we are at Midnight breaks the clock. You can see the magnet is fairly strong. There's an extra ball. I don't even know what I did to deserve that, but I'll take it.
The second ball is locked.
Come on, launch the ball. So we're at like 300 million already. It wants us to shoot the right ramp.
Multiball! Shoot for the trunk! 100 million! Jackpot is lit!
Come on, get the ball in there for another jackpot. See, still possible to bounce the ball down the center lane on this table. We're close to spelling theater, or closer than I would think.
Please shoot again.
Right. Start an illusion, hit the box.
Shoot for the captive ball. Shoot for the captive ball.
Okay, shoot the captive ball. Then what?
You must
I think you have to shoot the captive ball, then probably the left loop after that to get the 2-ball multi-ball.
Please shoot again.
Although it doesn't probably matter. Start another illusion.
Stay right where you are.
I riffed that. Now I think I have to hit the chest 3 times, unfortunately. There we go. If we can get it to vanish. Did I spell magic? No. I think I lost that.
Vanish.
1 o'clock.
Spirit ring is lit. Darn it. Should have gone for the chest one more time. We're about to, if I do a loop, I can spell theater. I've still got like 4 missions, though, to focus on.
Tonight's performance is about to begin.
Shoot for the magic trunk.
Shoot for the trapdoor.
I missed this trapdoor shot.
Shoot for the trapdoor.
Missed it again.
It's 2 o'clock. Shoot for the captive ball.
Now we've got captive ball shots with the 2-ball multi-ball.
Straight jacket escape.
Shoot for the jets. Theater complete.
So we spelled theater.
For the trunk. Hurry up.
Theater org. Nice.
Magic.
magic spelled. Multi-ball lock is lit. Seems like this table always wants you to hurry up. Which is not bad, because that's a way of cheating excitement. There's like one gym at the bottom there, which is just doing all the missions before we would unlock the ultimate mode.
Shoot for the spinner.
Darn it. Don't think we're gonna make it, but a decent game there. So yeah, it's not worth it to put in your name. Okay. Congratulations, you've scored enough to move past the table. Press continue to move on to the next table, or try again to use a credit and throw out your score you just earned to do better. You have 2 credits left on this table. So you just want to continue, I imagine. But seemingly you don't really have an option later on. And see, that gave me a 6.4. I don't know how it gave me that score, but whatever. Let's just now load into Circus Voltaire, which wants us to get a target score of 25 million, increased challenge points every 5 million points over target score. And it seems like we have only 2 credits, so you don't seemingly get that start. So we'll play a little bit of Circus Voltaire, not one of my favorite tables, but a lot of people like it. What's funny is that the ball is blue in the menagerie over on the left, but I've seen it on real tables as white. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an assortment of colors and no consistency there. And one hopes that you can play the challenges multiple times. It'd be crazy if this was the only time in my entire life that I could play the challenges. That would be really silly. Seriously? Just bounce the ball into the out lane.
The boom marble is yours.
They want me to have 25 million. I think I have about 2 million so far.
Welcome to the sideshow.
And this is one of those tables where you just would have to get really lucky. Yeah, I just don't get this back glass. We're trying to light up as many marbles as possible so we can join the circus and get a high score.
I am the ringmaster.
Meanwhile, you also have to, I think, defeat 4 ringmasters. There's names of the judges on the LCD screen back there. they don't seem to play any real role. So that was like 12 million. We needed 25 million. So we'd have to do twice as good. So we gotta try again.
Welcome to Circus Voltaire.
And a lot of these challenges do seem like something that would quickly divide me as a somewhat casual player who has a lot of experience and is decent at pinball, and a pro player who would have to be a pro at just every pinball table in the challenge, which I'm not sure how many people actually out there exist like that. And it doesn't seem like you can skip a table and just take the L.
Holy smoke! The boom marble is yours!
Getting up that shot is fairly difficult.
Au revoir. Arrivederci. Adios. Goodbye.
I suppose compared to Coral Canyon or whatever that western was with the banditos, at least the ringmaster here is just a weird looking ringmaster Green Goblin character.
Welcome to the sideshow.
So he doesn't come off as a stereotype against any specific type of character, and all the characters in this table just have this weird, I would say, French Névrose type art style, if I was to guess.
Feast your eyes on sideshow marble.
Your attention to the acrobat.
And notice how the ball kind of just hovered there. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it to 25 million at this rate.
Holy smoke!
I want to get the ball up the ramp on the left, but I've failed miserably to actually make that happen. That ball just gets flung all over the place. There we go. So start that high wire act. You may have noticed that some tables require 3 balls to be locked. Some tables really only require 2 balls to be locked, and then they start multi-ball. And that is clearly a decision as to whether or not they want multi-ball to be easy or hard. And most tables eventually settled on wanting to make multi-ball easy. Now, it should be incredibly easy to defeat the ringmaster when you have 3 balls going on the table. Now 4 balls going on the table. Down to 2 balls. just drains both of them.
Let's review your circus ability.
Perfect 10s on the scores there. It gives me an extra ball, which is nice. I guess you light the lock by hitting the 2 lightning bolt shots on the sides of that ramp. It's still like, still kind of sucks how easy it is to train out that right out lane. I'm at 75 million, so I can make it forward. Interesting. Let's go to the quick multi-ball. Didn't know I was going to do that. Oh, come on. I think I have another extra ball though. I'm just doing really well with getting extra balls. Which, this does kind of highlight how you really only need an hour of warm-up and you have a decent chance to have figured out the tables. This is also though something very different from reality. Like, if you were to go to an actual arcade and see a pinball table, you're not going to know the secrets and the ways to play at all. Creature from Black Lagoon, that's a tough table. Number of credits left 3. Interesting. Why did it reset?
And now on with the show.
Maybe it resets after every 3 games or something, or maybe it resets after each game. Yeah, it's crazy that Monster Bash has the same under the table gimmick as this table does. Although they did significantly manage to scale it downward. But yeah, when you start playing pinball, if you know the rules, if you can practice, if there's no rush and no stress around it, oops. That's one of those animations that plays while you're still supposed to be playing. Yeah. But yeah, you can get a lot better at playing emulated pinball than you really would in the real world. And almost certainly if I was to go play pinball in the real world, I would have a worse experience as far as high scores. In particular, I have problems with my feet and my back and like my hips, so every single thing just to stand in front of a pinball table could become extremely painful for me after an hour or two. So that is something that is not accounted for when you're sitting in a chair and playing with a controller. Although arguably playing with the controller is a handicap more than it's a help. But yeah, I would not be able to go for like a 4 or 5 hour marathon of playing pinball at the very least. And I'd also be very distracted if I was to say go to a pinball like convention or something and there was hundreds and hundreds of tables, because I would want to try and play a lot of them And that would probably motivate me not to stick with one table for very long, even if I was doing particularly well. It would kind of suck to go to a convention and then score several billion on one table and not see any of the other tables. How much did we need to score on this table? 300 million? Was it? I bet that's close. Maybe 200 million. This is a table I didn't particularly like at all. So 69 million, is that high enough? 63 million. Nope. What was our score? I guess you have to try again. 200 million is what we're aiming for.
Now, on with the show.
And it would be just like perfectly in time for
come on.
for me to fail here instead of potentially taking this episode and making it super long. I don't like this yelling focus when the ball drains out, unless that's supposed to mean something as far as you could activate a kickback if you had spelled focus or something. But I don't think that's really the case. If I got really good at hitting the kiss shots, then I could probably get extra balls fairly consistently. That left out lane seems deadly. I don't know if there's a real skill shot you're going for or anything.
Stay cool, Daddy-O.
It probably is a skill shot at like half pressure that I should be targeting. I'm not getting better, I am getting worse. But we do need to know how this whole thing works, so if we do lose here, and that explains everything.
And now,
well,
on with the show.
I will half shoot that way. This is one of those progressive rewards with the kisses, so I would just have to hit it once, like kiss. Then that just gives you the letter film, so basically you have to hit it like 16 times to spell film that way. Or does it give you random rewards? I wouldn't be surprised if it's random rewards. But then it would be weird if it's random rewards and then the concession stand shows you what random rewards you might get. There's only a few shots here that I can make. Ideally, I would like to get the ball more into the pop-up bumper area. That way we can. Yeah, if we could. Spell film, I guess that's probably good. But yeah, also keeping everything in the pop-up bumpers is a lot safer. We can get a score multiplier, maybe. Although those pop-up bumpers don't seem like they really send the ball up to the top lanes. Theoretically, I could just hit the shots, hit the ramps over and over again if I was really good. I need that to go there so I can sink the ball so we can start the film, which is a 2-ball multi-ball. Now it's a 1-ball mode. Shoot the snack bar to reset the multi-ball. 5 shots. Yeah, I was not fast enough to hit that. If I could get the kiss shots, I think I only need 1 or 2 more to get an extra ball, which might be helpful.
The snack bar is now open for your convenience.
It definitely feels like there are some shots that you have to hit multiple times. And that seems weird. Like, it seems like you could have sped up the whole process. There's an extra ball, but
Thank you. Enjoy the film.
yeah, I think I need a whole table multiplier. I think I need to play a lot better to get to 200 million. I'm at 78 million now, so if you could double that entire score, I'd be somewhat close. I also feel like I'm just on the verge of losing it. Start the multi-ball again.
Let's try the next tunnel.
I'm desperately trying to shoot the snack bar before the ball drained. Of course, I'm not going to get anywhere shooting the snack bar now. Interesting. What are we supposed to be hitting now? You don't get the ability to reset the multi-ball a second time, which frankly I think I might need that level of assistance.
Shoot
Shoot the left ramp. Which? These weak Williams flippers. It's just a little hard to get these shots.
Shoot the right.
Snack attack, 20 million. I almost drained the ball again.
Here's your tar-boiled burger.
So we got a free ball there. And we're almost... So if we can get like 10 million in this next ball, and the next couple balls, we should be fine. But this is kind of a great example of just struggling through it to move on with the tournament. And there certainly is some lack of competition feeling to this. Oh, I found her. So now we rescue the girl. And how do we do that? We shoot up ramps. So are we rescuing the girl? No, or is the multiball just going on? I think we're trying to hit up that ramp to sink the creature.
Come on. Well, maybe.
So did we save the girl, or did the movie end? Feels like the movie kind of just ended and the mode ended, and we didn't get the full jackpot that this table may have to offer. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. That if you sink the ball into that spinner, Black Lagoon spinner that you barely ever even get to use on the table. Another extra ball's lit. Alright, well. We couldn't keep it going forever. Even having a particularly decent game on this table, I still don't really like it. And see, if I got any standard goals or wizard goals there, it's not showing them to me. Actually, I can tell you I haven't gotten any goals, because if I had gotten any goals, they would have popped up on the Steam achievements. Okay. So next we can play Scared Stiff. And they want us to get 6 million points. So we know Scared Stiff is a lower scoring table.
I don't want to know what's in there.
So,
Better be careful.
do you want to go for the multi-ball, or do you want to go for the rewards?
Oh, the Deadhead family album.
Fish head.
Better practice your scales.
Yeah. I think maybe the third Elvira table goes a little bit more adult.
Leave
which that would make more sense. The target audience probably has completely aged it in line with the original Elvira audience. Whereas you see kind of like the opposite of that happening with Ghostbusters, where the Ghostbuster movies are kind of not kid-friendly, and yet back in the day nobody really cared and still made a cartoon around it and family-friendified the Ghostbusters. I want to get that extra ball lit as fast as possible if we can. Darn it. This might be a harder table to shoot.
Stop the spider!
Oops. I was trying to go for the extra ball, and I spent so much time learning how to time that I got pretty good at it.
Here's a bunch of scary stuff.
Meathead!
A cow?
Man. No, it's still very possible to end up with some air balls. Or, I guess that's what I would call them. That's probably not the right term.
Nice move.
Go and walk the multi-ball. Start that multi-ball.
Monsters? Demons? Zombies? Taxi drivers!
From the crate!
Quick! Hit the crate!
So they now just want me to hit the crate.
Keep all body parts in.
So the shot that starts this multi-ball is also the kind of jackpot shot, which that's a little weird. You would kind of expect it to be a little bit more varied than that. I should have nudged. Wow, Scared Stiff may be the table that defeats us. Or maybe not. 2.3 million may have been high enough. And it'd certainly be weird to, that wasn't enough. 6 million is what they wanted. Be weird to use a credit and hope for better.
I don't want to. Man, I hate commercials.
Because you might end up really ruining your run.
Oh, the Deadhead Family Album.
Cheesehead!
Yeah, I know if we could get all the missions going, we could probably accomplish very high scores, but you have to be very careful with it too. And I'd have to give some real thought as to which shot and which random reward is the best random reward to start with.
Better be careful.
We need that ramp shot. We need the ball locked.
All one captured.
That.
The spider hole is lit. We're everywhere.
missed that completely.
I'm warning you. Come on. Monkeys? Chimpanzees? Gorillas?
And see, we're gonna go long because we're doing this tournament instead of going long because we were playing the new Star Wars pinball and Star Trek pinball. Can't even keep them straight. It feels like this table should probably play a sound effect when the crate locks so that you know it's locked.
Stop the spider! The monster
It's probably not a terrible way to start it.
Eyes of the holy beast!
Looks like we may have a multi-ball.
One more for multi-ball.
This is a older school style pinball table in that there really are only maybe 7 shots on this table, but I would really say you've got 3, 4, 5 shots really on this table. 5 important shots and then some secondary options. There's a multi-ball.
What are you, dead or something? Watch this.
The thief in the coffin! Hey, that's me!
Oh, jackpot!
So we need to get it to go up the secondary ramp on the right, I mean on the left, and that one's going to be the more difficult one to hit. And I wonder if we're just going to alternate.
Shoot the left ramp.
Shoot the left ramp. Well, that's the end of that multi-ball, but that worked. I think it's wrong for them to say have a free game when they really mean each extra ball, but whatever. Now we're on our score.
Ooh, shoot again. Heading for the dead head. I hate frogs.
Yeah, I think legitimately getting all the rewards on the spinner is probably fairly low chances there. But might as well shoot for him. Might as well try. We can lock some more multi-balls.
Leave it alone. Hop to it. Head for the dead head.
Yeah, we're at 7 million now. We made our score.
Ooh,
What's going to be pathetic though is we're going to get this potentially all the way to the end, and then our challenge score is going to be super low compared to other people. There's going to be cheaters out there that certainly are going to run the scores up like crazy. And then there's going to be just people that got really, really good experiences on one game.
It's the tax man!
From the crate.
Get it in there!
Very nice.
Yeah, jackpot! Quick! Feed the crate! Hurry!
And see, we have the crate multi-ball extended, so that I guess means we got one mess up before it. Interesting. We are ready to, I think, do the scared stiff mode. And yet the ball drained instead. We have one more ball.
My favorite part of the movie.
So hit the crate, start scared stiffer meter.
Turn out the lights. It's time to get scared stiff.
Let's see how scared stiff you can get.
You can do center shot, then left ramp, right ramp, I believe, and then center shot. I think it just kind of alternates that way. No, I think it's actually center shot, and then left or right ramp, and then center shot again. And we have a limited number of times that we can play.
Excellent shot.
Come on, I need a good clean shot up the crate. And it's not gonna let me have that. I don't think. But that does get our in the ball multiplayer up ×2, which is something. Not enough, but something. Interesting. You don't get the second reward. You don't get the same reward twice, unfortunately. Not until you build out the whole reward thing. So it would make a lot of sense for the game to simply re-roll you or skip over a certain hole if it's not going to give you anything.
Oh, the Deadhead family album.
Badhead.
You devil, you. Now! Head for the Deadhead! Frogs everywhere!
Yep, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. 11 million. That should be enough to move us forward to the next game. You see, the irony here is we'll get to Twilight Zone potentially, and Twilight Zone will wreck us. See, and that gave us 11,618,270, and somehow that brings it up to 5.7 challenge points. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, Elvira and the party monsters now. Score 3 million. It seems you're going kind of backwards with the Elvira games. But I also feel like a more classic table like this could potentially be more difficult. But remember, these old tables have the lines on the flippers too, which I feel like subconsciously help quite a bit as far as learning the angles. And I would say I don't particularly think I struggle more with old tables than I do with new tables. Even the old electromechanical tables are easier shots in totality as far as the number that you need to practice and get good at. So I'd say the more complicated newer tables are the ones I would struggle with more. Do we need to get 3 million? Might be a little bit of a tall order on this table. Particularly if I drain terribly. This could be one of those games where you also may just have 3 or 4 bad games until you have one good one, and that may not work for this tournament. Seriously. I'm just trying to lock the ball in the skull, and that angle, that shot is terrible. It says this would be a point where if you won a free game and got another credit, that potentially should let you play again. It would at least make an argument as to why, as to them actually doing something with the credits that you earn, as compared to doing absolutely nothing. Now, arguably, I still would just like a metric that says you've earned this total number of credits in your entire history, or here's a picture of a whole bunch of quarters that you are growing taller and taller as you earn more credits. Like a Scrooge McDuck money vault. See, I think I have to target the ramps in the center with the right flipper, and I'm gonna have to bounce the ball into the skull shot, because that shot is just not getting done. Like I got it that time. So I guess it's if you can hit the ball right as it drains out the edge. If it drains out the edge, that might work. Yeah, there's a lot of pegs, a lot of tight shots here. This may be the end of it for me. If I'm 2 credits in. 3 million points. It's no surprise that they automatically liked the multiball on this table, because it doesn't matter. They might as well have it automatically lit. This might be an example of a table that I played a little bit for an hour and then kind of just forgot about it, so I'm kind of forgot just how brutal it could be. And this is actually locking the 3 balls, so
party pooper.
Seriously. Outlanes suck. Angles suck. I don't remember Elvira being this hard. And this might just be a case that I was warmed up with those previous tables for different angles and different layout. Nice effort, but you've run out of credits and failed the challenge. Better luck next time. Okay. So we now know what the challenge is, and you can get a score on the challenges, but seemingly there is no achievements or anything for the challenges. Let's see. If we got the Bally table at 17.7, so Bally challenge overall all time. Wait, let's go with my score. Bally challenge did not make it to the end. Yeah, you have to make it all the way to the end, and then when you get to the end, you're then immediately going to be with a score that is ridiculously high because there's cheaters. I have to assume that's the case, because by the time you're getting down to 106, you've got scores of 1,000, and notice how all these scores are 1,000 even, which that seems unlikely. And see, if I got 17 and I got a third of the way there, you would expect your scores to be somewhere around the level of, oh, maybe 100 at most. And we're saying that you won't even make it in the top 500, and we'll stop looking at that point, unless you have a score of 400 or 500, which would, yeah, that would be about 4 times as good as what I managed to pull off. On top of that, you have the bigger issue. Apparently you have a rank you get, but you have a bigger issue because a lot of these tables in these challenges would not be playable by most people. And I guess the thing to ask here is there possibly a listing here of some table I don't own? Season 6, Gottlieb is in progress. Season 1's in progress. Why does it say Gottlieb is in progress? Season 6 challenges new continue. Interesting. Seems like the game is all glitched out. Yeah, there's definitely tables here that people would not be able to buy, and so they wouldn't be able to do the challenges, which then kind of breaks into the problem of tournaments not existing anymore and your score just not really matter, I guess, yeah. And then online play seems to basically be non-existent, as it's just coming soon. So I could see doing the challenges just because I'm bored and I want to play multiple random tables and just get a score. But in reality, I think it would make a lot more sense to just play your favorite tables, or go through every table and work on wizard goals and standard goals. challenges just feel like yet another goal system on top of that. And yeah, we can not buy it for $9.99. For sure. The prices on this, by the way, are also different than what's listed on Steam. But yeah, let's play another Star Trek game.
Welcome aboard.
You're just in that weird position.
What's up? Red alert.
Where I particularly for this table need to be
All right, I'm gonna give you one more chance.
For like a good full game that probably went about 40 minutes, and there might be a lot to like here, but the actual table design I think is fairly lacking and fairly empty. I imagine you probably would pay a lot for that Star Trek license. And I guess the real question is, are there some reskins on this
Hi, Christopher. I'm
that
Hero.
If you had reskinned this to the original Star Trek characters, like Bill Shatner, that might be much more appealing to old Star Trek fans. You wouldn't really have to change too much other than all the visuals, some of the visuals on the table and all of the ROM animations.
Let's move out.
And maybe you change all the voice lines. It would be questionable, but it may be doable that you could deepfake all the original Star Trek actors' voices these days just by using references from the TV, DVDs, or Blu-rays. And so you could have them say the exact same lines. And see, the only character in the reboot movie, as far as the Star Trek that I even was slightly interested in, as far as an actor, was, I believe his name is Zachary Quinton or something like that. The guy who played Spock. He played Siler, I believe his name was, in Heroes, the bad guy who could steal other superheroes' powers. He looked like he might be a decent actor, and then after putting a lot of effort to play Spock in this movie, he kind of never got any other work and was doing something for the History Channel, I believe. And so that's the last I've seen of him. I think he maybe rumors came out that he was a bit of a weirdo. I don't know if that means anything really, but yeah. And if we're gonna finish on Star Trek, what kind of sucks here is we don't have Star Trek the original series pinball table, which exists.
Make it so. Welcome to the Enterprise.
I couldn't imagine reskinning this table. Like, there's some slight modifications I'd make, but I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't actually try to change anything. And nobody's dared to try and remake the Next Generation TV or movies in some kind of reboot. Although arguably the Star Trek movies for Next Generation are pretty bad, so if you were gonna try and remake them, that almost would make sense, but you'd still end up replacing the actors, and I don't think anybody would enjoy that. They are dangerously close to the point where they are going to be able to just deep fake actors past the point where the actors have aged out or died, and something like Star Trek The Next Generation potentially could have just kept on being made. And I doubt too many actors would be upset getting residuals that actually paid something for the rest of their life for their likeness being used in a digital format for like deep faked episodes. Of course, new actors would absolutely hate that because new actors would never be given any kind of breaks to become popular. And what we've seen that certainly happen with movies too, is that a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Cruise type actors have stayed in the business being action heroes, and there's for that reason not been too many new action heroes coming up as a new generation, and now all the action heroes are getting very old. Like the newest action hero I would say that I even know of is probably Daniel Wu, who is a like kung fu action hero character, and he's not particularly well known either. Well, that definitely feels like more like the Star Trek to me than the Star Trek reboot. Yeah. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll go back to the normal way of covering just one game in the next recording, and then the recording after that, and then recording after that, and then after that we'll have Big Buck, and we'll check that out, and probably try another tournament or whatever else we would like to do. I'll have to, if I think of something else. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good